Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. Seb here, and today I want to talk about whether or not vegans or especially animal rights activists should be taking medicine that is either tested on animals or has animal byproduct. Now before we get started, I want to quickly ask you to subscribe and click the notification button so that you can stay up to date with my videos, and also check me out on other social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Back to the main subject. Should animal rights activists or vegans take medicine that is not really considered vegan because of the fact that it's tested on animals or probably has animal byproducts? This is a very interesting question, and I do want to consider different factors in the explanation of this video. The first one is, how do you actually define veganism? If you define veganism the way the Vegan Society does, in which it says that being vegan is basically seeking to exclude animal products and byproducts as far as is possible and practicable, then of course it's completely fine and considered vegan to take this medicine, because it is not possible to find the medicine in a way where it does not include any type of animal exploitation. Throughout the whole video, I want to concentrate on one main thing, and that is the reality of the world we live in, and the idea that just because you oppose a certain system, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is possible for you to align your actions with your beliefs within the system. Now, if you believe that the definition of the Vegan Society is not really well prepared, then you might start arguing that it is not okay, it is not ethical for vegans and animal rights activists to take this medicine because it is causing unnecessary harm and suffering on other animals. Regardless of which definition you believe in or what your stance is on the issue, we have to be realistic when we're talking about this subject. If we take a certain person, for example, an animal rights activist, who relies on a certain medicine to stay alive and be healthy and be able to do activism, then this person will have to take the medicine to continue doing what they're doing. But if we say that they should not be doing that, then this person falls in the risk of getting ill, not be able to do any activism, therefore impact the lives of animals, and eventually maybe even pass away. Another factor that I want to talk about is that people don't buy medicine because it's tested on animals. They buy it because they need it. It's not really the same as animal products that you buy because it's made out of animal body parts. So when someone buys meat, they're not buying meat because they're hungry, because then they can buy something else. They're buying meat because they want meat, all right? For the sake of the example, let's think of those who buy meat because they want to eat meat, not because they want to eat food. When it comes to medicine, it's not the same. No one goes to the pharmacy and says, get me this medicine because it's tested on animals. If very few people do, it doesn't necessarily mean that that is what the customer or consumer base does. Usually people buy medicine because they need the medicine. Now, there are many reasons why they need the medicine. That is a completely different subject. But today I want to talk about those who actually rely on medicine, or for a very short period of time, they rely on a certain medicine to get healthier and get back to their normal lives. One more thing I want to mention is that testing on animals is not something that happens every single time someone buys a certain product, especially with medicine. It's not the same as walking into a supermarket and buying a piece of dead chicken that is going to be replaced with another dead chicken that is going to be killed because someone bought that one. When it comes to medicine, it's most of the time tested once and then it's good until something has to change again, which is not something that happens as a result of someone buying it. You can oppose animal testing while simultaneously buying a medicine that is unfortunately tested on animals, because we live in a world where the alternative is not possible yet. I mean, the most important thing is that you're opposing it and you're actively trying to change that. And that's why I mentioned animal rights activists in this video, not only vegans, because they are actually trying to change this. If, for example, you live in a country where, whether you like it or not, whatever you buy, a percentage of that money is gonna go to support something horrible, it doesn't mean that you can't fight against that while continuing buying things like food and water, because you actually need those things. But you can do that even though you're against the money being used for something horrible, and simultaneously fight against the system that is doing that. So to give you a very simple example, there's an amazing activist based in Canada. Her name is Amy Serrano.
If we are serious about justice and the need for fundamental change, it cannot be business as usual.
We will stay locked down until either Interior Savings agrees to drop their sponsorship of Ripfest, or until we are removed.
We're going to continue escalating our tactics until Ripfest is shut down.
She's done so much activism, and she organizes amazing events such as Meet the Victims in Canada, and she's also done lectures in universities and schools and workshops and talks and things like that, and she obviously has an amazing impact on the community and the movement. But unfortunately, Amy has a chronic illness that makes it really difficult and painful for her to do the most basic things unless she is taking the medicine that she's been given. If it wasn't for this medicine, whenever she has the migraines and everything, Amy would not even be able to leave her bedroom, and she would have to close down all the curtains and everything and make sure she's isolated for probably days, and at the same time be in a lot of pain, which means she can't even do online activism or videos or anything of the sort. So if you're gonna say things like an animal rights activist should never ever take medicine, then where does that put Amy in this context? Should she never take the medicine that she needs to do the most basic things in her life, and also all the activism that she's doing to try to have the biggest impact that she possibly can? Personally, I see it in a very specific way. I do not believe it's ethical to take a certain medicine or actually use any animal product or byproduct or anything that has hurt an animal, but I also understand and tolerate it if it's done. And that applies to me as well. If I'm extremely sick one day and I have to take a certain medicine, I don't think it's ethical for me to do it, but I will do it. Because if that happens to someone else, I will understand that they have to do that. And before jumping into conclusions and start saying, for example, Amy shouldn't do this or Amy shouldn't do that, ask yourself what you would do if you were in her place, you know? This person is going through so much while facing court and imprisonment, by the way. I will put all the information in the description below if you want to support her and 3 other activists that are facing court. Would you take the medicine to get better? Would you help a loved one, a member of your family, your best friend to take the medicine to feel better? I'm pretty sure you would do that, even though you are against animal testing. Let's keep in mind, we do not live in a perfect world where we have the alternatives of taking medicine that is not tested on animals. But until we get there, let's stay healthy for the sake of the animals. Activists that are sick to the point where they can't do any activism, or activists that pass away because they didn't want to do the treatment that they needed to do in order to get better, are not going to be able to help the animals. So let's take care of ourselves, let's support each other, and let's also fight until we reach a world where these products don't exist. And most importantly, let's be supportive of each other and let's not take each other down for things like this. Let's have open conversations and let's see what everyone has to share without attacking each other. And that's why I want to ask you to tell me what you think in the comment section below about this subject. As I said, my personal stance is it's definitely not ethical because it's hurting other animals, it's hurting another sentient being, but it's understandable. For the same way that if someone was stranded on a deserted island with an animal and they had absolutely nothing or no one else to eat but that animal, I don't think it's ethical for them to do so, but I would understand it because it's for their survival. Just as it is for a lot of people out there who need certain types of medicine in order to be healthy and survive. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe, and if you would like to support my work, check out my website SEBALEX.org or Ethics Over Habits for vegan merchandise that is fair trade and organic. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.